Hello guys, welcome back to another video. I'm pretty excited for today, but before we get into the video, make sure you hit that like button. It is greatly appreciated and it really does help out the channel. Now, what are we doing today? So we're going to be working on the BMW 760 Ally, and the plan is to completely swap out the iDrive system. So for those of you who have been following the channel, you'll know that I had a 2008 BMW 730D as a parts car, and I pretty much stripped out the entire iDrive system from that, and the plan is to put that into the 2003 760 Ally. So the complete iDrive system is made up of 4 main components, and the first of which is the screen. Now, with this being the later LCI 2008 model screen, I believe it should have some better graphics on. So yeah, the screen update, that should be a massive plus. The next part on the iDrive system then is the navigation model. Now, in my 2003 BMW 760 Ally, this thing actually failed, so it didn't work anyway. And again, with this being the later navigation model, I believe it is the Navi 3 navigation model. And of course it has the DVD drive as opposed to the very early CD drive. So again, this should mean that we can have better access to the navigation system and better updated maps as well. The third part of the iDrive system then is the ASC unit, or CD player, radio, whatever you want to call it. This is basically the brains to the system. And yeah, this has a CD player, as I mentioned. My original 2003 ASC unit in the 760 Ally has a tape player, so it should be a nice upgrade to be able to put some CDs in here. But again, this should have the later firmware on, so it should be a lot quicker, a lot smoother, and just an overall better iDrive system. And the fourth major component to the iDrive system then is, of course, the controller. Now, I'm actually not going to be installing this today. I don't think it's actually required to install this to replace this to run with the later iDrive system. And along with this, I do plan on fitting this at a later date, by the way, but along with this, I also plan on fitting an aux port. So this goes inside of the center console, but that is it's a bit more involved work. I may have to do some wiring modifications to get this to work, but at the same time I will do this. But yeah, like I said, that'll probably be, that'll probably be a little bit later down the line in a different video. Another part then that is nothing to do with the iDrive system, but I think it will be a nice addition, is the LCI facelift climate controls. I think these just look a little bit smarter, and they should make the car look a bit more modern inside. I don't know if these require any coding. I believe the connections are the same, but yeah, I'm going to try and install these today as well. Now then, for the iDrive system, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe it should be plug and play. Of course, if there is any additional features on the new iDrive system, like I mentioned with the aux capability, that will need to be coded in at a later date. But I'm pretty sure for the basic functionalities of the iDrive system, I'm pretty sure for the most part it is plug and play. But I guess we're going to have to wait and find out anyway. Let's get outside, let's get cracking, and let's see what this new iDrive system is all about. Okay then guys, so let's get cracking. So as I mentioned, I have already removed the navigation unit from the trunk previously. This is actually the new unit to go in. It's just held in by 4 8mm bolts, so that just needs plugging in with the connectors, and then those 4 bolts just reinstalling, and that is the navigation done. But we'll leave that for now. We'll get everything removed from inside the car first. I think I'm going to start with the ASC unit, so let's go ahead and get that removed. As you can see, it still has the a tape cassette player on, so this thing is ancient now. Okay then, so when it comes to the removal of the ASC unit, of course it is surrounded by this trim piece here, and yeah, I really don't want to damage this. I'm guessing it's pretty expensive. It's like a wood veneer over an aluminium frame, I believe, so it will chip off quite easily. I mean, I do have some trim removal tools, but I am a little bit hesitant to try and pry this off because, yeah, I'm guessing it will chip quite easy. So yeah, I forgot we have a phone here, so if we did just have a clear access tray, we could possibly just pry from underneath, but there's really not a great deal of access here, so I think I am going to have to try and pry from the sides. But yeah, I really don't want to break this trim. What's my emergency? Yeah, I'm going to need some help getting this trim piece off, I think. Yeah, I just don't want to damage it. Yeah, if you could send someone right away. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so I think we're getting somewhere. Managed to pry it away slightly by getting my fingers underneath. It feels like it's going to snap. Don't like those kind of sounds. Something just flew off. Let's close this. Okay, it's removed. But it's broke. One of the dowels has broke off. Came away from the plastic, so I thought this was aluminium. The other pieces of trim are aluminium, I believe, but this is just looks like plastic. That's fun. I think we can probably glue that back on there, so that's not an issue. As long as we can get this removed. Okay, let's get the ask unit itself removed then. Looks like it's just held in by 1, 2, possibly 3 screws. They're just Phillips screws, so we'll go ahead and remove those now. Okay, so with those 3 screws removed, this should pull out now. Yep. And we're going to have some electrical connectors to disconnect. As you can see, just a big multi-plug for the ask unit itself, and then just a small connector for the keypad for the phone. So let's get those disconnected. Yeah. There we go. It's the original ask unit removed. And we'll go straight in with our new ask unit. Connections are the same. So plug in the keypad and this big multi-plug. It's came into life already. There we go then, nice and snug. Now I'm not going to reinstall the trim piece yet. You guys saw how difficult it was to remove without breaking it, and we still managed to break it, but luckily it was just the back of it. So I have went ahead and super glued that, so while that dries and everything, and I actually just want to test everything, make sure it fully works before I reinstall everything back anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to leave that off for the time being. Now I think we will move on to the screen at the top there. So then the screen itself is held in by 1, 2, 3 Torx 10 screws. There we are, see the screen's now loose. Okay, so when it comes to removing the screen, best to remove this trim panel. This goes on the base. This is where the bottom of the screen goes into. Don't just try and force the screen out. You may be able to do it without removing this, but this is just held in by a few clips, so just pry this out of the way and you've got so much better access then. The cable removed. That's the original screen fully out. Okay, let's go ahead and get our new screen, get that plugged in. So with the new ASC unit in place and with the new screen in place, I guess all that's left to do now is head back to the trunk, connect that nav unit back up and see if the new iDrive system works. So we'll just go ahead and plug this in. It's quite simple really, just 3 connectors. That's all in, and here we have power. Yeah, this is on. I'll just leave that there. And with that all connected up, let's head back in the car and see what happens. Okay then guys, so we are in the car. Let's see what happens. Let's insert the key. Ignition on. Yes, and we have power to the iDrive, and we can see that looks so much better now. It is in colour, which before is in black and white, I believe. And yes, we have the onboard computer. Never had that before. I'm guessing that's mostly down to the fact that the nav module was not plugged in, so the most network was disconnected essentially. But yeah, everything seems to be on there. Let's see if we are working as we should. So we go communication first. Please insert your card. I'm guessing that's for the phone in here, for the SIM card that sits in there. So we don't have Bluetooth enabled for this. This is something that will need coding in, I'm guessing. What else? Navigation. Yep, there seems to be there. I can see the maps, which is good. Settings seems to be working. What's that beeping sound? Oh, Bluetooth. Yeah, so Bluetooth is on this iDrive, but it is not in the car, I don't think. I don't know if we're going to need a Bluetooth module for that or what, but recharge battery. I guess the battery's getting low. Yeah, what is that beeping sound? Let's go to entertainment, see if we have a radio working now. FM. Oh wow. Oh no. Oh, that's annoying. I think it's just, yeah, I think it's just in a system loop. It's stuck on aux. I can't get it off aux. Oh no, the radio's not going to work. This is going to need some coding. It's not going to work. Like, you see how it just, I select a radio station, it'll just jump back to aux again. Yeah, this is going to need some coding to get it to work. That's annoying, but at least we know the iDrive system kind of works, right? Okay, yeah, so I am going to need to do some coding with this. Whether or not I do it myself or I take it somewhere else to get done, it'll probably be the latter of those two. But yeah, I think for now, I think I'm going to be able to leave that screen, the MMI, but I think I'm going to have to probably put the original ASC unit in. Otherwise, we're just going to get, you know, we're not going to have the ability to use the radio or anything like that. So yeah, I think what we'll do is remove this ASC unit, and then once we can get this coded, then we will put it back in. Yeah, as you can see as well, it's staying awake. I've taken the key out, turned the ignition off, and the iDrive screen is not going off. That should just go off now. Let's try and lock the car as well. Yeah, look, it's still staying on. That's going to stay awake if I leave it as it is. So I need to remove the new ASC unit, put the old one back in, and then see if we have functionality of the radio. because that's the most important thing for me right now, because I haven't had the radio working since I bought this car. Okay, so original ASK unit is back in. The radio does work, but really weird, it keeps cutting, the audio keeps cutting in and out, so it works for like a second, then cuts out for a second. Listen. So I think this ASK unit is faulty anyway. That's frustrating, but at least for the time being, at least we have functionality of the iDrive for the most part. You know, I can see my onboard data and things like that. You know, at least we can see all that. We still don't have a working radio, but at least we have something back. We'll keep going. This is going to take some time. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be as simple as I thought it was going to be to get it up and running, working perfectly. Okay, well, that's a bit disappointing. Wasn't the result that I was hoping for, but yeah, I really don't know why I expected everything to just work as it should, plug and play. I guess it just goes to show that you shouldn't believe everything that you read on the internet. I've read through numerous different forums. People have said that, yeah, you know, you can plug and play the LCI iDrive system into a pre-LCI car and it should work fine. I guess it kind of works, but you can't really use anything really. I just expected it was going to be a case of I'm not going to be able to use the aux functionality until I physically retrofit the aux port and then code that in. But yeah, we can't really use a whole lot. You know, we can't use the radio. It keeps doing that audio loop thing where it can't get off the aux. It just keeps making that beeping sound. And yeah, it's like it's actually keeping the iDrive system awake as well. So yeah, I can't keep that as it is. That's why I had to put the original ASK unit back in. So yeah, I guess next thing to do is get the car coded to accept the new ASK unit, the new MMI and the new nav module. And I may or may not do the aux retrofit at the same time. I'm not too sure yet. But yeah, it's a long process. I guess we're just beginning with the iDrive retrofit in reality, but yeah, a long way to go. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video anyway. I make these videos so you don't have to go through the pain in, you know, checking these things out for yourself. But yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed it anyway. Please give it a like, leave a comment down below, subscribe if you have not already done so, and I will see you all in that next one. Peace.